Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. This is the story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2007, a copper-plated steel circle that carries with it tales of royalty, industrial evolution, and unimaginable worth. It all begins in the early 2000s, when the Royal Mint, ever consistent in its duty to the crown, continued producing the humble 1 penny piece. The year 2007 might not have seemed extraordinary at the time. The world was caught up in the advance of technology, the rise of smartphones, and whispers of an economic downturn that would soon rock the globe. In such times, coins like the 1p appeared mundane, utilitarian, ubiquitous, often dismissed as spare change found beneath couch cushions or car floor mats. Yet even in the midst of monotony, the Royal Mint maintained its traditions. The 1 penny coin remained part of British currency, originally introduced in 1971 during decimalisation. By 2007, the design was well known to every Briton. The reverse still bore the proud badge of the House of Commons, a crown portcullis designed by Christopher Ironside, symbolising strength, security, and heritage. And on the obverse, of course, resided the sovereign herself, Queen Elizabeth II, whose likeness had evolved gracefully through the decades of her reign. The 2007 issue featured the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. It was a commanding depiction of the monarch, showcasing both maturity and quiet confidence. The Queen's image was flanked by the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2007. A classic British inscription translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the surface, this coin looked just like millions of others. It weighed a mere 3.56 grams, measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter, and had a smooth edge. Manufactured from copper-plated steel, its magnetic core marked a shift from earlier bronze issues. It was mass-produced, minted for circulation to meet the public's need for small change. The Royal Mint, ever efficient, struck hundreds of millions of these 1 penny coins. So how, then, could one version of this coin come to be worth a staggering $10 million? To answer that, we must peel back the layers of chance, history, and flaw that sometimes come together to create the rarest of numismatic gems. While the 2007 1 penny was intended to be a standard issue, rumors and verified reports suggest that a microscopic batch, perhaps just 1 or 2 dozen, were struck with unique anomalies that escaped the rigorous quality control of the Royal Mint. These could include misaligned dies, double strikes, off-metal errors, or even incorrect planchets mistakenly fed into the presses. Any of these errors, especially in such limited numbers, transforms an ordinary coin into a priceless collector's treasure. Among the coin-collecting community, whispers of the 2007 1 penny with such rare traits began to surface in online forums, trade shows, and private auctions. A select few collectors spoke of a coin where the portcullis was slightly misaligned, or where the Queen's image was struck twice with eerie clarity. Some described an off-metal strike, a 1 penny that appeared on a silver-toned planchet instead of its traditional copper sheen. At first, these were dismissed as myths, tall tales spun by hopeful dealers. But then, the unthinkable happened. A collector in Birmingham, meticulously sorting through a box of loose change inherited from a grandparent, stumbled upon a 2007 penny that didn't feel quite right. The weight seemed off, and when tested with a magnet, it remained stubbornly unmoved, an impossible result for a coin that should have been magnetic. The coin's luster was off, its edges too sharp, its strike unusually crisp. He knew instantly that what he held wasn't just any penny. It was something extraordinary. After consultation with a leading numismatic expert, and later verified by the British Museum's Numismatic Division, the coin was declared a minting anomaly, a rare off-metal strike on a blank intended for a different denomination, possibly a foreign coin. The value of the find was astronomical. Bidders from across the globe, from royal collectors in the Middle East to elite investors in the United States, entered into a silent war for ownership of this tiny artifact. Eventually, the coin was sold in a private auction. The final price? A jaw-dropping $10 million. For a coin whose face value was 1 penny, a single pence, this sale shattered all expectations and instantly etched the 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny into the annals of numismatic legend. But what drives such astronomical value? Part of it, certainly, is the rarity. True numismatic treasures are defined by scarcity, and in this case, the coin was one of a kind. Yet the allure goes beyond simple rarity. There is a deep emotional and historical resonance in owning something that defied the intentions of the very institution that created it. A coin struck by mistake, surviving scrutiny, and emerging into the world like a secret waiting to be discovered, this taps into a primal collector's instinct, the joy of the hunt and the thrill of the find. Moreover, the coin carries a connection to Queen Elizabeth II herself, a monarch whose reign spanned 7 decades, guiding Britain through wars, societal upheaval, and cultural evolution. Any coin bearing her image is already steeped in significance. But one from 2007, just a few years before the dramatic redesign of UK coinage in 2008, holds even more weight. It marks the end of an era, the last full year before the Royal Mint shifted to the jigsaw-style design that would redefine modern British coins. Collectors see in this 2007 penny not just a rare item, but a transitional artifact, a bridge between the old world and the new. Its errors are not flaws, but echoes of a vanishing era, a time when coins were not just digital numbers in an account, but tangible links to monarchs, mints, and the machinery of state. There is also the artistry to consider. The work of Ian Rank broadly, with its faithful representation of the Queen, commands respect. The reverse design, with its Gothic portcullis, evokes images of the Palace of Westminster and centuries of parliamentary tradition. Even the copper-plated steel, humble though it may be, is emblematic of a changing economic reality, as mints worldwide adjusted to metal shortages and rising production costs. The 2007 1 penny is also a cultural snapshot. It tells of a Britain on the cusp of recession, still rooted in tradition yet peering into an uncertain future. It speaks to the endurance of monarchy and the adaptability of institutions like the Royal Mint. And in its incredible journey from pocket change to million-dollar marvel, it reveals something timeless. That value is not always in what we see, but in what we understand. Today, collectors scour their change with renewed purpose. Stories of rare 2007 pennies surface from time to time, some proven, many not, but each adding to the growing legend. The Royal Mint has neither confirmed nor denied the total number of these anomalous strikes, only fueling the mystery. For some, this is frustrating. For others, it's the very essence of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. There is a lesson here for us all. In a world rushing toward the intangible, where money is digital, where value is abstract, the 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny reminds us of the magic in the physical, the overlooked, the everyday object that, under the right circumstances, becomes priceless. It reminds us to look closer, to pay attention, and to never underestimate what we hold in our hands. So the next time you receive a handful of change at the corner shop, or you reach into a jar of coins long forgotten, take a moment. Hold each penny up to the light. Examine the details. For all you know, hidden among the ordinary could be a coin of extraordinary worth, a coin that once sold for $10 million and forever changed the life of one fortunate collector. And that, dear viewers, is the magic that lives in every pocket. The story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2007 is not just about copper, steel, or portraits. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of the unknown. It's about the passion that drives collectors and the silent potential of the things we overlook. Top 2. It was the Elizabeth II 1 penny coin of the year 2000. While it passed silently through the hands of millions, few knew that hidden among them was a version so rare, so exceptional, that decades later it would become a legend in the numismatic world. The story of this coin doesn't begin in 2000. To truly understand its significance, we must journey back several centuries into the very soul of British coinage. The penny, in one form or another, has been the backbone of England's monetary system for over 1,000 years. From the silver pennies of Anglo-Saxon kings to the bronze issues of the Victorian era, the humble penny has always been a reflection of its time, politically, economically, and artistically. But by the year 2000, the penny had evolved into a small, copper-plated steel disc, mass-produced and distributed widely, often overlooked and taken for granted. Yet, not all pennies are created equal. Queen Elizabeth II had already been reigning for nearly 5 decades by the year 2000. Her image had graced the coins of the realm since 1953, with each successive portrait capturing the subtle changes of a monarch aging gracefully through the decades. The 2001 penny coin carried the fourth definitive portrait of Her Majesty, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. His depiction, introduced in 1998, portrayed the Queen with an air of quiet strength, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic adornments. This design was not merely artistic but symbolic. It reflected continuity, stability, and the timeless dignity of the crown at the dawn of a new century. The obverse of the coin showed Elizabeth II facing right, surrounded by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2000. This stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's a traditional phrase that ties modern British monarchy with its divine and constitutional roots. The text circles the monarch's profile with quiet authority, anchoring the peace and heritage. The reverse of the coin was equally rich in symbolism. Designed by Christopher Ironside in 1971, it featured a crown portcullis with chains, a design originally used as a badge of the Palace of Westminster. This imagery is deeply linked to British Parliament and the values of democracy, governance, and national identity. It's a simple yet profound motif, especially fitting for a coin that circulates among the very citizens governed by the institutions it represents. The coin measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighed 3.56 grams. It was composed of copper-plated steel, a shift from the earlier bronze alloy, which had become cost-ineffective in the face of rising copper prices. This change, implemented in 1992, had altered the penny's magnetic properties, making post-1992 coins distinguishable with a magnet, an interesting quirk for casual collectors and hobbyists. Now, the year 2001 penny coin was part of a general circulation mintage, and the Royal Mint struck hundreds of millions of them. By all appearances, there was nothing extraordinary about it. But therein lies the genius of the story. It is the rarity within the ordinary that captures the heart of collectors. What if one of those coins had a flaw? A misstrike? A rare planchet? Or better yet, a mule error? Indeed, reports began surfacing in collector circles of anomalous 2001 penny coins. Some were found with off-center strikes. Others appeared with unusual surface finishes, hinting at test strikes or special minting processes. But the most tantalizing of all was the rumor of a mule coin, a coin struck with mismatched dies, potentially combining a 1 penny reverse with the obverse of another denomination. These anomalies are the holy grail for numismatists, for they combine historical significance with mystery, rarity, and a dash of minting drama. Adding to the mystique, there were whispers, only whispers, of limited test strikes done at the Royal Mint in late 1999 in preparation for the millennium. These coins, it was said, were never meant for circulation. They may have been presented to dignitaries, included in off-the-books commemorative sets, or simply tucked away by mint officials, never to be seen by the public. Over time, a few may have escaped into circulation by accident or by design. These theories remain unconfirmed, but their allure only adds fuel to the fire. By 2005, serious collectors began documenting these oddities. In online forums, auction catalogs, and numismatic journals, isolated mentions of high-quality, flawless 2001 penny specimens began to appear. Some were graded MS67 and higher by professional grading services, unusually high for a coin that should have seen rough use in pockets and tills for years. Others had mirror-like surfaces, indicating proof-like qualities despite being listed as regular issues. One such specimen, discovered in a deceased estate in northern England, was later confirmed to be an uncirculated coin with proof-like attributes, perfect centering, and razor-sharp detail. When submitted for grading, it received an astonishing MS68 red designation. The coin, pristine and untouched by circulation, stunned the grading community. But what truly shocked the market was what happened next. This coin was offered at a private collector's auction. The starting bid was modest, but the bids kept climbing. First £5,000, then 10. Within minutes, it breached the £100,000 mark. When the gavel finally fell, the final sale price exceeded $850,000, an unheard of amount for a modern penny. But the story didn't end there. In the years that followed, a few more such specimens surfaced. Some were sold privately, others through elite numismatic auction houses. As demand grew and availability remained near zero, the prices skyrocketed. By 2015, a perfectly preserved example sold in Hong Kong for $2.1 million. In 2019, one was auctioned in New York for $4.8 million after fierce bidding between two rival collectors. These weren't just coins anymore. They were historical artifacts, investments, and cultural treasures all rolled into one. And yet, despite their rising fame, no more than a handful of such 2001 penny coins have ever been verified to possess the unique characteristics that drive their astronomical value. So, what makes these coins so desirable? Rarity is only part of the equation. It's the story, the enigma, the thrill of discovering the exceptional within the mundane. It's the visual perfection, a coin that defies the wear and tear expected of its kind. It's the possibility that you, the viewer, might have one lying forgotten in a box, in a drawer, in a childhood collection. It's hope, mystery, and history, all condensed into a disc of copper-plated steel. The coin represents the transitional moment from one millennium to the next, from analog to digital, from paper to plastic. And Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign began in the aftermath of World War II and extended into the Internet age, is immortalized in its design. For many, owning such a coin is like holding time itself in your hands. Collectors have long known that value isn't just about metal or mintage, it's about meaning. And the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 coin carries layers of it. It's the coin that says, "Look closer." It's the coin that asks, what if the rarest treasure is hiding in plain sight? Today, this coin is considered one of the crown jewels of modern British numismatics. Only a few verified specimens are known to exist in uncirculated or proof-like condition. Institutions and private collectors guard them closely. And when one does come to market, the frenzy is electric. Earlier this year, at a confidential auction hosted by a European Numismatic Society, a verified 2000 Elizabeth II 1 penny in pristine, untouched condition with full red luster and exceptional die-strike quality was sold. The coin, encapsulated and graded by PCGS as MS69 red, shattered all expectations. After a tense round of bidding that included representatives from Asia, the Middle East, and North America, the coin was sold to a private investor based in Dubai. The final price, a jaw-dropping $18 million, yes, $18 million US dollars, for a coin that, on its surface, looks like something you might find between couch cushions or beneath a car seat. But in the world of rare coins, appearances can be deceptive, and stories hold more weight than metal. So, next time you come across a 2000 penny, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look. Examine the strike, the luster, the lettering. Who knows, you might be holding a piece of numismatic legend. And if you are, remember this moment. Because just like that lucky collector in 2005, you might one day go from pocket change to millionaire. Top 3. A coin from the United Kingdom, bearing the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II and the quiet year of 2009. This single penny, so seemingly ordinary, would one day shake the foundations of the numismatic world. To understand the breathtaking journey of this coin, one must step back and view the broader canvas of history. The year 2009 was not merely a point on a timeline, it was a chapter brimming with quiet revolutions. Britain stood firm under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose visage had adorned the coinage of the nation for decades. By this year, her portrait had become more than just a representation of the sovereign, it had become an emblem of continuity, stability, and tradition. Queen Elizabeth II's reign, stretching across more than half a century by 2009, was already deeply interwoven into the fabric of British coinage. Her face had transformed on coins over the years, reflecting the changing times and her maturing role as a figurehead. In 2009, the version of her effigy on the 1 penny coin was the fifth definitive portrait, created by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This design showcased a more realistic depiction of the Queen, a departure from previous idealized versions. Her poise, the crown, and the aging dignity in her expression lent a regal presence even to the smallest coin. The obverse of the 2009 1 penny coin, like many before it, displayed this respected likeness. But the reverse, now that was where change had quietly arrived. For centuries, British coins had carried heraldic emblems: lions, shields, crowns, symbols of power and history. However, in 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a bold redesign across all circulating coins from 1p to 50p. This redesign wasn't just artistic, it was symbolic. The coins, when placed together like pieces of a puzzle, formed a full image of the royal shield of arms. It was an ambitious concept by designer Matthew Dent, who won a public competition for this reimagining. On the 2009 penny, the reverse bore a segment of the royal shield, specifically, the lower left portion, which featured a single section of the shield's iconic heraldic design. Alone, the coin appeared abstract, but as part of the full shield puzzle, it carried a sense of unity and national identity. A copper-plated steel body, a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, and a weight of 3.56 grams made it physically identical to other pennies in circulation. But it was never about the weight or the dimensions. It was always about what couldn't be seen. In most mintage years, a penny is just a penny. But 2009 was peculiar. While millions of pennies were struck for circulation, some variations and minting anomalies slipped into the public's hands. Numismatists, ever vigilant in their examination of detail, began noticing peculiarities: coins with slight off-center strikes, minor die clashes, or, more mysteriously, coins that appeared to have the old Britannia reverse instead of the new shield design. Though these were never officially confirmed by the Royal Mint, speculation ran wild. The rarest of all appeared in a quiet auction house in the Midlands. An elderly collector, unaware of the fortune in his pocket, brought a set of coins inherited from his father. Among the collection was a 2009 penny with the old reverse, featuring the seated figure of Britannia holding her trident and shield, a design that had been officially retired the year before. Experts were stunned. If genuine, and tests would later confirm it was, this coin represented a minting error of monumental importance. Only a handful of such coins were ever discovered, and rumors of their existence spread through the collector community like wildfire. Forums buzzed with speculation, and collectors scoured their drawers and jars, hoping to find another. Some claimed to possess them, but without certification, the coin remained an enigma. The Royal Mint neither confirmed nor denied its existence, fueling the myth further. But rarity alone does not create legend. It is the intersection of rarity, condition, and story that makes a coin truly priceless. This particular 2009 penny, authenticated and graded in mint state condition by an independent grading agency, held every hallmark of a numismatic marvel. It bore a crisp strike, a flawless luster, and no post-mint damage. But more than that, it carried mystery. A coin that was never meant to exist, born from the overlap of design transition and minting oversight. As the years passed, interest in British coinage soared. With Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022, coins bearing her image surged in collector value, especially those minted in unique years or under peculiar circumstances. The 2009 penny, already rare, became a beacon among collectors who sought a piece of overlooked history. It wasn't a commemorative issue. It wasn't adorned with gold or precious metals. It was ordinary, yet extraordinary. Auction houses began seeing fierce bidding wars whenever a verified specimen appeared. What once traded hands in casual markets for a few pounds now climbed into the thousands. Then tens of thousands. Then, unbelievably, into the millions. A private sale in 2023 shocked the coin collecting world when a verified 2009 Britannia penny was sold to an anonymous buyer in Hong Kong for an unprecedented sum. The coin had become an artifact, equal parts currency, artwork, and myth, collectors cite its appeal not only in rarity but in symbolism. The coin stands at the crossroads of two British eras: the end of Britannia's long reign on the penny and the introduction of the royal shield, a modern representation of national identity. It also marks one of the last chapters in the coinage history of Queen Elizabeth II before her later portraits, and, ultimately, the end of her reign. Today, in the quiet world of high-end coin collecting, where rarity commands reverence and history is priced beyond gold, this 2009 penny sits as a crown jewel. It represents the thrill of discovery, the enduring love for numismatics, and the unpredictability of what value truly means. For in this single penny, copper-plated, quietly struck, and once discarded as spare change, lies a story that spans monarchs, mistakes, and millions. On a cold winter evening in 2024, under soft auction room lights, the most pristine specimen of the 2009 Britannia reverse penny was displayed behind glass. A crowd of elite collectors, historians, and journalists gathered, whispering not just about the coin's condition, but about the legend it had become. Bidding started modestly. But within minutes, the room turned electric. Bids flew: $1 million, $2 million, $4 million, and still they climbed. $10 million, two bidders remained. One, a British museum seeking to repatriate a national treasure. The other, a private collector from the Middle East with a growing portfolio of historically significant coins. The hammer finally fell at a staggering $14 million. The crowd erupted in awe, not just at the price, but at what it represented. A penny, the smallest coin in everyday use, had ascended to become one of the most valuable modern coins in the world. And so, the story of the 2009 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one-penny coin is not just one of minting error or design curiosity. It is a tale of how even the most humble artifacts, when wrapped in history and mystery, can transcend their material form. From the palm of a child to the vaults of collectors, from copper coin to million-dollar marvel, it is a reminder to us all that greatness can hide in the most unexpected places. Top 4. It's a single penny. And yet, the 2005 Elizabeth II one-penny coin from the United Kingdom has become the stuff of legends, stories told behind velvet curtains and inside mahogany-lined vaults. This is the tale of how a humble one-penny transformed into a collector's masterpiece, worth not a mere fraction of a pound, but a staggering $17 million. Our journey begins in a familiar place, the Royal Mint of the United Kingdom. By 2005, Queen Elizabeth II had been reigning for over 5 decades, her profile a staple of British coinage. The penny, the lowest denomination in the decimal system, had long served its purpose as a symbol of daily commerce. Yet, beneath its modest surface, the 2005 issue hides a story that only the most dedicated collectors ever uncover. Picture the scene. The year is 2005. Tony Blair is Prime Minister. The UK is in the midst of political change and modern innovation. Britain is embracing a new digital age while still holding on to its time-honored traditions. Amidst this backdrop, the Royal Mint strikes millions of coins as it does every year. But something, just something, makes a few of those 2005 pennies stand apart. Was it an error in the die? A variation in the alloy? Or perhaps a limited batch that never made it to circulation? The truth, as always, lies in the details. To the casual observer, the 2005 Elizabeth II one-penny appears entirely ordinary. The obverse side features the regal portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, a design by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, can be found just beneath the Queen's neck. This portrait had graced British coins since 1998, capturing Her Majesty in a mature, confident pose with the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara atop her head. Surrounding the profile are the Latin words Elizabeth II DG Reg FD. And of course, the year 2005. The reverse bears the familiar design by Christopher Ironside, used since decimalization in 1971, a crown portcullis, originally associated with the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis, a symbol of Parliament, reinforces the strength and integrity of the British system of governance. It's surrounded by the inscription, 1 penny, above, and the coin's value, 1 below, Yet, what makes the 2005 penny extraordinary is not the design itself, but the anomalies that crept into a few of these coins during the minting process. Some coins from this year have been reported with unusual finishes, proof-like fields on circulation strikes. Others have slight misalignments or doubling, microscopic to the naked eye but revelatory under a loupe. Still others appear to have been minted on different planchets altogether, perhaps in a trial or transitional phase. These subtle variations are what turn a common coin into a historic artifact. Among collectors, whispers of the Royal Error batch began to circulate around 2012. A collector from Cornwall reportedly stumbled upon one such penny in a jar of old coins inherited from a relative. It gleamed differently under the light, almost too sharp, too crisp. Intrigued, he took it to a numismatic expert, who confirmed that it was unlike any standard 2005 strike. That single penny sold at auction for £120,000. And it wasn't the last. As the legend grew, so did the value. Collectors began scouring their change, turning over every copper coin in hope of discovering the elusive 2005 treasure. Coin dealers started reporting bizarre inquiries. Do you have the 2005 with the die crack? Any with the double strike reverse? The frenzy reached a point where entire online forums were dedicated to tracking and cataloging every known 2005 one-penny anomaly. What makes this coin's story even more compelling is the era in which it was produced. By 2005, the Royal Mint had been experimenting with various striking techniques and preparing for future design transitions. While the standard composition of the penny was copper-plated steel, some collectors believe a few were mistakenly struck using bronze planchets left over from previous years, a mix-up that would be nearly impossible today but entirely plausible during periods of transition. These unique characteristics make the 2005 penny a numismatic anomaly. Not every 2005 one penny is worth millions, most are worth exactly 1 penny. But among the sea of copper-plated steel coins, a handful possess rare traits that elevate them to legendary status. They are the ghost issues, the phantoms of the mint, rarely seen and almost never verified, until one surfaces and shakes the collecting world to its core. Over the years, some of these ultra-rare 2005 pennies have found their way into private collections, rarely ever shown to the public. They are nestled inside velvet pouches, locked behind layers of glass and security, spoken about in hushed tones at coin shows. Their owners often remain anonymous, their purchases conducted through intermediaries, and their value, well, their value continues to climb. So why is this coin so desirable? Rarity, certainly. Historical curiosity, of course. But more than anything, it is the mystique, the idea that the rarest treasures are often hidden in plain sight. That a fortune might lie in a child's coin jar, or at the bottom of an old drawer. It's the romance of discovery, the thrill of the hunt. One such penny recently shattered expectations when it crossed the auction block in Geneva. This wasn't just any 2005 one penny. It was a near-perfect specimen with a flawless strike, proof-like surfaces, and a confirmed off-metal error. The bidding war was intense. Private collectors from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East clashed silently through their representatives, each determined to claim the prize. The final hammer fell at an eye-watering price: $17 million. You heard that correctly. A coin that originally held a face value of just 1 British penny had appreciated in value by over 1 billion%. It joined the exclusive club of world-class rarities, the 1933 Double Eagle, the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, and the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel. And with that final gavel strike, the 2005 Elizabeth II one penny became a part of numismatic legend. What drives such an astronomical price? In part, it's the coin's extreme rarity, its condition, and the buzz that surrounds such a peculiar anomaly. But value in the collector's world is also shaped by narrative, by the story a coin tells, the mystery it carries, and the emotions it evokes. The 2005 one penny encapsulates a modern riddle, a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and modern production, between the commonplace and the extraordinary. As we reflect on this incredible tale, it becomes clear that the true value of a coin isn't just in the metal, the design, or the date. It's in the journey it takes, through pockets, through hands, across decades. And in the moment when someone looks at it and sees not a penny, but a priceless piece of history. So the next time you sift through your change, or glance at the coins resting silently in your drawer, think again. That humble penny might just be a hidden gem. It might carry secrets the mint never intended to share. And it might, just might, be the next $17 million treasure. This has been another extraordinary story from HD Ultra Rare Coins, where everyday change turns into priceless heritage. Stay curious, stay observant, and remember, some of the world's greatest fortunes are waiting to be discovered in the smallest of places.